By Halloween 2025, the town of Ravenbrook had become a place of fear. Over the past 6 months, 6 people had gone missing without a trace. There were no signs of struggle, no ransom demands, just an eerie silence left in their wake. The town's only clue, a crudely carved pumpkin left on the doorstep of each missing person's home the night they vanished. They called him the Hollow Man. Rumors spread that the killer wasn't just a man, but something supernatural, an ancient force awakened by Halloween's dark energy. Despite the unease, Ravenbrook still celebrated Halloween. But this year it felt like the town was walking on the edge of a knife. As Julia made her way home after investigating an abandoned house at the edge of town, she noticed a pumpkin sitting on her doorstep, just like the ones left for the other victims. Her heart pounded. She froze, scanning the street for anyone watching. Nothing moved except the wind, carrying the faint whispers of children's laughter. In a panic, she grabbed her phone to call the police, but the signal was gone. The streetlights flickered, casting eerie shadows that seemed to dance closer with each flash of darkness. Then she heard it, a slow, deliberate creaking sound like boots on gravel. The door to her house slammed shut behind her. She whirled around only to see a figure in the dim light, tall, hunched, with a hollow pumpkin carved where his face should be. The eyes were empty, and inside she could see something dark and writhing, like the soul of something ancient and hungry. The Hollow Man took a step forward, his movements jerky, unnatural. Julia's breath hitched as she backed away, feeling the walls close in. But as she turned, the lights flickered out completely. The darkness was suffocating. There was a moment of silence, then the creaking began again. This time it was inside the house. Julia couldn't see him, but she could feel him, feel his hollow eyes staring at her from the shadows, waiting. She swung the knife blindly, trying to catch anything in the pitch black. Then she heard a low voice, a raspy whisper that sent chills down her spine. "It's your turn now." The last thing she saw before the darkness swallowed her whole was the glint of a blade catching the reflection of the flickering jack-o'-lantern on her doorstep. By the morning of November 1st, Julia Maddox was gone, vanished like the others. The only sign of her presence was a rotting pumpkin left on her doorstep, its grin wide and mocking. As the town of Ravenbrook braced itself for another 25 years of silence until the Hollow Man returned once more. The legend of the Hollow Man echoed in the air, a haunting reminder that he would rise again as Halloween approached. The townspeople could only hope that this time would be different, but deep down, they knew the darkness would return. The air thickened with dread as Halloween approached once more, and the town held its breath, waiting for the Hollow Man to awaken. As the town decorated for the festivities, whispers of the past echoed, and the fear of what might come next lingered ominously. Glimmers of excitement intertwined with dread as the Halloween festivities drew near, and the specter of the Hollow Man loomed larger in their minds. With each passing hour, the anxiety ratcheted up, but the spirit of Halloween fueled their courage, or so they hoped. The streets glowed with festive lights, yet a palpable tension filled the air as anticipation hung over Ravenbrook like a heavy fog. As twilight descended, an ominous silence began to envelop the town, foretelling the horrors that Halloween could still bring. The villagers felt the chill in the air, a whisper of something dark stirring, reminding them of the ghost stories long embedded in their minds. But excitement overshadowed fear, and the townsfolk clung to their Halloween traditions, unwilling to let go of the night's magic. As the festival continued, the darkness began to close in around them, whispering promises of terror, waiting for its moment to strike. Ignorant of the lurking presence, they shared tales of the Hollow Man, dismissing the warnings as folklore. But as the clock struck midnight, the line between legend and reality began to blur, and fear took root once more in Ravenbrook. The air turned thick with dread, a palpable tension rippling through the crowd, as if they all sensed something was about to change. The laughter faded as their instincts kicked in, and an unspoken dread settled over Ravenbrook. Panic fluttered beneath the surface as the atmosphere turned electric, each heartbeat echoing like a warning bell. As darkness enveloped the festival, the whispers became shouts and the joyful celebration turned into chaos. In the midst of the chaos, the Hollow Man emerged from the shadows, his presence sending shockwaves of terror through the townsfolk. Screams echoed through Ravenbrook as the legend materialized, and the true horror of Halloween descended upon them. Desperation filled the air, and as each second passed, it became clear that the nightmare was far from over. But amid the fear, a spark of courage ignited as some dared to confront the darkness threatening to consume them all.